Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Ever Adaptive Podcast. I'm your host, Beckie Flowers, along with my co-host over here.
Here, Budson. Hello, everyone.
Hello. All right. So episode 11 is on the book. So we officially made it past episode 10. So fucking bet against us, man. Like, tell us we can't.
I'm just happy that I'm honestly just happy with what this has grown into from literally just a little idea of like, hey, we should probably just record some of our conversations. And with how much I know a lot of people have gained value from these episodes thus far, I think it's really cool kind of what it's sprouted from and into until now. I mean, obviously, there's still nothing in comparison to other people's
You have to start somewhere though.
projects.
Like everyone's project that is just massive and like has this massive following started where we are.
Right.
So,
And it's taken so long to get to that point. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'd pat us on the back for.
There's
Are
like
you
a
okay?
massive fly in my office.
This is where we're at today, guys. Like I just finished cardio. I just took like a quick body shower. I'm like, this is what we get here today.
Honestly, yeah. And I'm still like in my filth from training and cardio. So we are here.
Your authenticity right now.
Yes. I'm gonna try not to get distracted. But yeah, I'm just super grateful of where this has come. And let's talk about our topic. So we are talking about overthinking and
Overthinking and like life stressors that playing into the turn of events of overthinking and that potentially hindering progress, things like that. Something that obviously we have both firsthand experienced, both mentally and physically.
yeah.
So thought it would definitely be a good idea to just shoot the shit about, share, and just kind of go over our experiences with it and kind of ways that you can navigate it.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I feel like we're both living this right now as well. We've lived it in the past, you make it through, and then you have something else that comes up. So I literally got on this podcast right now and I was like, I'm not in a good headspace. I don't want to do this right now. And I'm a little less 13 days out from North Americans right now. A lot of overthinking with plan, a lot of life overthinking, and we just got to make it through.
Well, I want to revert to a voice memo that you sent me last week.
Oh no, I like tell you my life. You're like my diary.
And we do that. I love it so much because it's like a daily. We'll just get send a voice memo to one another, and it's just like, hey, here's where I'm at. Just like talk me off the ledge here, or just like talk some sense into me, because you are trying to hold out where you're at. You're obviously not trying to lean out anymore. And your coach gave you an additional free meal, and you were like, just talk me through this here. And I'm like, shut up and just follow the plan, Beckie. Like, get out of your head. It's like you should not even be thinking about anything right now, especially with how close you are to your show. Just turn your brain off and follow your fucking plan.
Yeah.
That's not your job to think right now. That's your coach's. That's what he's doing for you. He's sending you everything, assessing everything in very real time. And it's not your job to sit here and assess and be like, well, what if I gain 5 pounds of fat before then? It's like, that's not going to happen, Beckie. So
I've literally repeated that to myself this whole week because calories got way bumped up and free meal. So there was one day where I was eating like over 3,000 calories, and I am not that girl. My last year's prep, I was at like 900 calories. So it just feels so wrong. But I need to just remember that. Like,
But obviously it's not. I mean, look at you. So
yeah, yeah. And I know that I'm like deep in prep where I have prep goggles where I'm like, no, I've gained weight. But I know that I haven't, like, logically, but then that overthinking comes in. And yeah, you just have to turn off your brain and listen to your coach because that's why you pay them, and follow the plan. And at the end of the day, and I've told myself this too, if I show up and I look like shit, I'm on stage, I know that I followed the plan to a T and I did everything in my power that I could have. And that's all I can.
that's all you can bring. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And obviously that overthinking, and if you decided to step in and change things or whatever, like that's just gonna throw everything off and throw everything for a loop and screw it all up. And there's no
Like,
point.
why?
So
Exactly. All right. So what are some tips that you can give about overthinking? Because you dealt with this a lot. You've had a lot of life stressors, and we've talked about like how your A1C was high and like just everything, progress wasn't moving.
yeah, so I actually lived in this for a very long time, over a year, to the point where, I mean, I was in a very high demand job where it was taking a lot out of me, which I have no problem working hard, but when it's a constant push and also a pressure that I put on myself as well, that gets I mean, my cortisol was through the roof. There was a difference in my blood work from, I want to say it was 4 months, and my cortisol shot up 5 points. It was like, holy shit. Like that was terrible. It was so bad. And then obviously my A1C. So for those of you who are not familiar with blood work, things like that. So there are a lot of things that can spike our blood sugar, and our A1C, hemoglobin A1C, it's an average of your blood glucose over a 3-month span. So it gives us a better look at where your glucose is sitting on average rather than just when you get your blood work done. Obviously, our glucose fluctuates a bajillion times through the fucking day, when you're fasted, when you're not, when you're sleeping, when, everything. So that A1C gives us a better look at where it kind of sits on average. And I was within the pre-diabetic range for probably close to a year and a half. Because of stress. And a lot of people don't know that stress can increase your glucose, increase your diabetic marker, and put you in that either pre-diabetic or diabetic state, which at that rate, now you have this resistance. Your body's not absorbing food. It's not putting to use the calories that you're giving it. And for so long, my old coach, we were just trying to get my body to respond, but it was so resistant at that point. It's like we tried changing diet, we tried, adjusting cardio, and it really was all mental. And once I actually started to get my mental in a better place with just stress management and time management and just figuring that all out, then my body actually started, it just followed suit. So it was, I mean, there was a lot of different things that I did that helped with it. It was ridding things in my life that were stressing me out. It was figuring out better processes for my work and my organization. I started going to therapy. There was a lot of different things that I knew I needed to handle to get my body to start responding and be less resistant, so that we had a better sensitivity. So that, I mean, once things started getting rolling in the right direction, it's like, I mean, from end of February till now. Obviously, I'm in a cut and everything, so there's a lot of different variables. But the the fact is, it's like I've been putting in this work for so long with very limited progress. And then finally, once my body started responding, I mean, I'm down 18 pounds since the end of February.
Holy crap.
So yeah, and just being able to get my mental in a better state so that my body would actually respond, that was the key for me. So
Yeah.
it, and I knew that for a really long time, and making a lot of those changes. I mean, they were all pretty big changes, obviously. And it just one by one, you got to knock it out and manage. And also the state of stress that you're in. And this is something that one of my very close friends reiterates to me all the time, especially with quitting my job and going all in on myself. This is a state of stress that I've chosen. So, like, this is my new norm. So I can sit here and say I'm stressed all I want, but I'm choosing this, just like a prep, right? You're
Yeah.
choosing this. This is what you're deciding is going to be your standard. Adapt to it.
Adapt. Yeah. And figure out how to be the best version of you through that.
Mhm.
Gosh,
Yep.
that was so good. I'm writing that down because that hit me.
It's something that I need constant reminder of too. And it's like I can sit here and this last week, like I've been so stressed out, like my skin was breaking out like crazy. I was just like super in my head and overthinking about things. And I had that reminder of, you chose this. Like, this is your standard now. So adapt to it. And now your threshold for what you can handle is going to be higher once you get to that point of, this is your homeostasis, right?
That's
So,
exactly what it is. And I mean, that's textbook. Like, we have this homeostasis set point, and then we have our stressors coming in, and then it raises up. And this is now our new homeostasis, and this is your new baseline. You're going to keep leveling up. So that, yeah, so freaking good. This is your standard. I'm just making notes for myself over here. I love that you like touched on so many points that you did though for alleviating those stressors, like working through those stressors. Because those are like real tangible things that you can do if you're overthinking. Like my number one is I just go out and I walk. Like
yeah.
after this, I know that I'm gonna get those kids that are going crazy out there like settled down, and then I'm gonna go for a 10-minute walk, and then I'm gonna come
Mm-hmm.
back a better person.
Yeah,
Um,
because movement always helps.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Going to lift if you can. Even just getting outside and putting your bare feet in the grass can be so beneficial,
Mm-hmm.
but also
Yeah.
therapy and making those hard life decisions that you're avoiding and all, all of those things, because we can try to avoid them by like going for a walk and going to the gym. But at the end of the day, like you're gonna
You still
have
got to
to,
deal with them.
exactly, you got to deal with your shit.
Yep.
So, which we are actually gonna, I know we have mental health on our next couple, and then we're diving into blood work on our next episode. So we have a lot of these things coming for you guys that we're going to dive deep into, but just kind of an overview for you for this one.
Yeah, yeah, just a little precursor on some things. And I think that mental health episode that we kind of just touched base on, because we always like to kind of schedule ourselves like, okay, what are we gonna kind of touch on for the next few weeks, just so we have a little bit of an idea to, we don't even really think about it. We talk about it for a couple minutes before we start recording, but just so we kind of have like a set plan, things like that. But we definitely want to dive into blood work, because I know that we've both gotten a lot of questions. Obviously, that's really fun being educated and like primed on all of that stuff and being able to teach people, because there's a lot that people don't know. And then the mental health one, where I mean, that can go a lot of different ways. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of like, that's my baby. Like, I love that. That's what I went to school for. That's like, I freaking love it. So, and it's something that so many people neglect
yes.
and will try to go for a walk and go to the gym and like avoid it. Um, but let's see. I don't even know if there's anything else that we can give on this topic. It's just,
You just have to have like a come to Jesus talk with yourself and just, I mean, overthinking, it's like, it's a choice, right? You can either sit there and drive yourself fucking crazy, or you can shift perspective. You can, look at other outlets and not let those life stressors, not view those life stressors as, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. It's like, okay, what's my plan of action? Like, how am I going to deal with this? Like, it's either play the victim or just do something about it.
I was literally, as you were saying that, I was thinking the only way to get through overthinking is through action. Like,
Yep.
you can't think your way out of overthinking. You just have to take action.
Yeah. It's
So
just a black hole that's never ending if you get into that headspace. And it's like the only way out is to like snap yourself out of it and just do something about it.
that's, yep. I literally have that on my phone right now. It says, don't think, just do. That's sometimes that's what you need. Like, and that can be coming from if it's a relationship that you need to leave, if it's a friendship, a job, you're in prep, whatever you're overthinking right now, like don't think, just do, because I'm telling you, if you're overthinking it, you know deep down what you need to do. You are just trying to talk yourself out of it and probably trying to stay comfortable somewhere. So,
Yep.
I guess on that note, if you are overthinking right now, don't think, just do. Go
Just do
for that
it.
10-minute walk and then just take action.
Yep. That's
All right.
all you can do.
And on that note, we are going to go shower and
Yeah.
get
Finish the
ourselves,
rest of our Sunday.
yes, get ourselves presentable. So, well, thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys. I know that this was short and sweet and kind of all over the place. Hopefully, you got something out of it, though.